Have you called American Express recently? Maybe you're a platinum card holder, maybe you pay them $900 a year like I do. You called their support line, one of the most premium customer service lines in the world, and you hear an overseas accent. And the thing is, you weren't even mad because they solved your problem. But that was someone in the Philippines. And here's what nobody is talking about. That is a much bigger threat to American jobs than any AI tool you've ever seen on your TikTok feed. Everyone right now is panicking about AI, ChatGPT is gonna take our jobs, but automation is coming to replace us, the robots are coming, and look, I'm not here to tell you AI isn't real because it is. But here's what most people get completely wrong. They think the threat is a robot. The real threat is a person, a highly skilled, incredibly motivated working person who either lives in South Africa, Philippines, or Colombia, and they will do the same job as your American hire for 20 to 30 cents on the dollar. And they're already here. They're already inside some of the biggest companies in the entire world. You just didn't notice, and it's already happening at the highest level. Let me make this real for you. American Express Platinum, a $900 a year membership, one of the most recognizable premium brands on the planet. Their whole identity is built exclusively on world-class service. But when you call them, you're talking to someone overseas. And here's the thing that should stop you in your tracks, because it doesn't matter. The service is still excellent, your problem gets solved, and the experience is still premium. Amex figured out something that most small business owners haven't yet. The quality of the hire has nothing to do with the zip code. Now take Go High Level as well. If you've ever used their platform, you know they offer 24/7 live customer support as well. Any time of the day, including 2 in the morning when you're in America, you can get on a Zoom call and talk to an actual expert who knows Go High Level inside and out. There is no version of that where you're staffing an all-American team. The payroll alone would make it unprofitable, and that's before you even factor in the time zone problem. Who's covering the hours when America's asleep? You need to pay American workers a premium to work overnight shifts, or you'd have gaps in your support team entirely. So companies are building their customer support on the back of global talent, and it's working. And you're still sitting here worried about ChatGPT. But here's where I want to be honest with you, because I'm someone who actually builds these systems. I've built AI receptionists that schedule inbound calls for medical clinics, complex data integration and reporting platforms, and content generation systems. I built it all for my clients. AI is incredible for one specific thing, and it's repetitive tasks that require zero judgment. Click, 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 same output every time, no thinking required. That is where AI wins. But the moment you introduce a human on the other end of that process, a real customer, a real candidate, a real client, AI starts to fall apart. And I'll show you exactly what I mean with my own business. I run a recruiting company. My whole operation is built on placing trained professionals from South Africa, Philippines, and Latin America into businesses across the US. And to do that at a high level, I need to run a very high volume of interviews with candidates. I need someone evaluating those people, reading their energy, catching the things that don't show up on a resume, and making judgment calls in real time. Now, could I build an AI system that scores applicants and sends me a report? Sure, I could probably build that within 2 hours. But would that give me the results as accurate as my head of recruitment would? Absolutely not. And here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud right now, because AI is the hot topic and everyone wants to sound like they're on the cutting edge. But the truth is, as long as businesses run with employees, as long as customers are humans, and as long as decisions require judgment, virtual hires will always be valid. AI is a tool, a great one, but it's not a replacement for a thinking human being who is motivated, trained, and brought into your business. When a business owner comes to me and asks me the question, should I use AI to outsource this, or should I hire a virtual assistant? It comes down to 2 questions. Question number 1 is, does this task require a decision? If the answer is no, if the same action is repeated over and over with no variables, then AI might be your answer. But if the answer is yes, if someone needs to think, adapt, and respond to something unexpected, then you still need a human. And question 2, is it client-facing? Is there another human we're going to be talking to? If you're speaking with customers, managing clients, running interviews, or handling relationships, you need a person, because AI cannot replace the feeling of being heard. It cannot build trust the way that a real conversation does. And the truth for most business owners is that AI will be a distraction. I bought the Mac Mini setup, I went deep into it, I gave it a real shot with Claudebot, and at some point I had to be honest with myself. I had spent weeks trying to get a system to work perfectly that was never going to replace what I could hire someone to just do in a day. And that's what people don't realize. When AI is working, it's fantastic, but you can't underestimate how much effort it's actually going to take to build out and how much time it's going to break on the back end. You end up with a half-working system, a frustrated team, and the exact same problems that you started with, except now you're 6 weeks behind. And again, I build these AI automations for clients. They have their place, but most of the time when a business owner comes to me with a problem, the answer is not a smarter prompt, but a smarter hire. Now, real quick, if you're a business owner and you're buried in tasks that are slowing your growth down, this is exactly what my company solves. We place trained professionals from South Africa, the Philippines, Latin America, and 20 other countries, fully vetted, trained, and ready to go in your business in under 5 days. The link is in the description. Book a call. Let's figure out what role makes the most sense for your business. Now, back to it. Here's my bold claim, and I'm going to stand on it. For the average American business owner, a virtual assistant is a better hire 75% of the time. And here's the logic. First is in the economics. For my own company, I'm not going to pay an experienced recruiter in America $25 an hour when I can hire someone overseas at 20 to 30% of that cost. No office, no healthcare, no payroll taxes, independent contractors that are responsible for their own taxes. The math is not even close. And second is the supply. You can find people overseas who are genuinely looking for long-term roles, and they probably need it more than you need them. And that's not a bad thing. That's alignment and two parties coming together. If you think the job market is bad in America, it is nothing compared to what people are going through in South Africa and the Philippines. Unemployment in some of these countries run as high as 30%. That's why it's so easy to find people applying to your roles, and the rest of the world hasn't caught up with this yet. The supply of qualified virtual assistants who are looking for work will always exceed the number of businesses who need one. That gap is absolutely massive, and it's not closing anytime soon, which means right now you have access to an enormous pool of talented, motivated people who are ready to commit long-term to the right opportunity. And third is the speed. You can post a job, get applicants, and run some interviews in the morning and have someone hired by the end of the day. If you try doing that with an American hire, you're looking at weeks of back and forth, multiple rounds of interviews, offer negotiations, and 2-week notice periods. So to recap, the 25% of the time where AI wins is going to be your truly repetitive, zero judgment, and high volume tasks, scheduled posts, basic report generation. If there's no human in the loop and no decision being made, then you can automate it. But that's 25%. The other 75% of what's slowing your business down needs a virtual hire. So here's my actual opinion, and I don't care if it's controversial. Yes, AI is going to take some jobs. It is. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But overseas workers are going to take more American jobs than AI ever will. And the scariest version of this isn't even with the overseas worker alone. It's the overseas worker who knows how to use AI better than the American that they're replacing. Let's think about that for a second. You got someone in the Philippines or South Africa who is hungry, motivated, and a fraction of the cost of a local hire, and is also learning AI tools every single day to make them more valuable. That combination of a skilled human plus AI leverage is the most competitive worker on the planet right now. Look, I'm not here to tell you what to think about any of this politically. That is not my lane. But what I will tell you is this. If you're a business owner and you're not at least exploring what an international hire could do for your business, then you're falling behind. There are roles in your business right now that should absolutely be an American hire. I'm not telling you to replace everyone, but there are also roles, and you know exactly which roles they are, where there is no reason on earth you should be paying American wages. The business owners who figure this out first are going to have a massive competitive advantage over the ones who are still waiting for AI to solve all their problems. Now, you have two options from here. Option one, keep doing what you're doing. Keep paying American rates for roles that simply just don't require it. Keep trying to build AI systems that never quite work the way you need them to. Or option two, book a call with my team. We'll audit your workload, figure out exactly what role makes sense, and have someone placed and trained in your business in under 5 days. Link is in the description. I'll see you there.